Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today I am super excited to show you a custom knife that was made and gifted to me by Cody over at Fit to Survive. Now, if you've watched my channel before, you know that Cody actually made me a custom knife. I paid him to make me one a couple of years ago in a 91 millimeter, but this was with plus scales. He did a really great job on it. The reason I don't carry it is because it's a little bit too thick, just a little too heavy, a little too thick. And so this is part of why I rethought what I would want in my own custom knife, a companion knife. And aptly enough, we have named this, Cody has named this one, the Victorinox Companion. And I think that is a fantastic name. But because this one has scissors, I think you should name it the Companion X. But we'll get into that here in a little bit. We'll go through the tool set. So two of the blades that I have out here are going to be the electrician's blade and the hawkbill blade. Now, both of these blades are available on different knives. As an example, so we got the Victorinox Electrician here. That's going to have that blade, but on the other side, it will not have that. It will have the screwdriver. And then we have I believe this one is the Harvester. Now, the Harvester has the hawkbill blade on it. And again, it's going to have the screwdriver on the other side. Does not have the electrician's blade. And finally, one other one that you can get it. This is the Swiss Army 2, which is a single layer knife where it's going to have the hawkbill blade and the standard blade. All of these in A-locks and all really, really great knives. But none of those come with both of those blades together. So before we go through all the different tools that are in here, I want to bring in my Leatherman Surge, and I want to show you how I customized it a little bit and how I took the inspiration for that tool from some Victorinox products, and why I like this combination a lot better and why this is going to go into my personal EDC. Okay, so on the table now, I have the Victorinox Swiss Tool Spirit X. Now, this is where I drew the inspiration for this tool between this and the electrician to get that electrical blade. So you'll notice on the Swiss Tool, or on the Spirit X, it has a chisel with both the chisel point and with the edge point here. It also has the cable cutter or sheath cutter. Well, basically what this is for when you have larger diameter cable, whether that be something like welding cable, which is something I deal with on a regular basis, or if you just have just like a 3 or 4 wire SO or something where you need to cut around the sheathing in order to strip the larger jacketed insulation off to get to the smaller wiring. So this is great for that particular task. Now with the electrician, you use this one to cut around the sheathing, and then you use the draw cut of the top of the blade in order to cut vertically along the sheathing in order to pull that jacketing of that cable off. With this tool, you do the same thing, but you use the chiseled edge here on the front. So once you get around the cable, then you can slice it, pull that length of insulation off and get it out of your way. So I kind of took inspiration from both of those tools, both the electrician and the Spirit X, in order to create this. So what I did is I took an old screwdriver or a spare screwdriver off of another Leatherman Surge, or might have took it off of I might have taken it off a Super Tool 300. I don't remember now. And I created a chiseled edge into it. And I also created, first I started by dremeling this, and then I made my own sanding piece where I custom made one. It was really simple to do. And so I could both open this up to the proper diameter and get it sharpened up as well. And it's worked very, very well for me. The only problem that I have with this is that because it's on the interior, it's a little tough to manipulate to get out whenever you need to use something like this. So first you have to open up the surge, you get it all open, you close it all down so that you can actually use it. Then the reason I put it on the outside is because I felt like it was better suited to be able to hold the knife in this fashion in order to be able to use it properly, and it's worked out very, very well. But I will say that it's really not a comparison to the electrician's blade that you'll find on the Victorinox Electrician. So now let's get into this custom knife. Now I just wanted to highlight why I wanted this particular blade and what use I get out of it. So with the Victorinox Companion, and we're gonna or Companion X, because this one does have scissors on it. Now, because this one is in 84 millimeter, it's going to have the Wenger scissors on it, which are going to have the torsion bar as opposed to the spring like you're going to have in a standard Victorinox scissors. So this one is the Pioneer X, which you can see this is a 91 millimeter and this is an 84 millimeter. If we'll get them side by side there. These are fantastic scissors. Best scissors made on a multi-tool. The surge is really close, but I think these are gonna edge it out. They are really sharp, work really great. Let me pull this tool back in, and we'll get its scissors out here, which are on this side. So you'll notice that the Wenger scissors, though they have a similar construction with the torsion bar to like the Spirit X, they have a much deeper throat here, able to get a lot more stuff done with them. They're both excellent scissors, but these actually work just a little bit better. And on the Wenger scissors, the bottom edge is actually serrated, so when you're cutting on something, it kind of grabs onto it, doesn't allow it to slip out the jaws, even though with the Victorinox scissors in general, you really don't have that issue because they're so sharp and they work so well, it just slices through whatever you're cutting. So this is the first thing that is on here. And let me close these up. The next thing, obviously, our electrician's blade. Very nice to have this blade, one of the most important blades. But I do also use the Hawkbill blade. This is also a very nice blade to have on my particular, or what I wanted in a companion knife. It's just a fantastic blade to have. Now, the other two tools are going to be your standard, the awl. So let me see here. Let me fold up the Pioneer X, and we'll just open these up. So there is a slight difference in these. Actually, no, there's not. I think he used these off of a 91 millimeter. So I haven't had a chance to see Cody's video yet. So it does look like he took tooling off a 91 millimeter and put it in here. So that's really nice. And then the last tool on here is going to be a spare blade, which, nail nicks on the other side. So this is where the one difference is going to come in. Obviously, your good 91 millimeter and your 84 millimeter blade are going to be quite a bit different. Quite a bit of difference in length, but because this is a backup blade, I am completely fine with that. Now, another thing that I wanted to show, and let me see, we'll just do it with the electrician. So with the electrician is a 2-layer 91 millimeter knife. This is a 3-layer 84 millimeter knife, but when you put them side by side, you will notice they are exactly the same thickness. This is a 3-layer and this is a 2-layer. This is the benefit of having an 84 millimeter. By no more thickness, you're actually able to get another layer in there because the scales, and we'll just put this up here again, the scales on the 91 millimeters are built quite a bit thicker than that of the Cadet or the 84 millimeter A-Lock scales. And so because of that, again, you're able to, instead of utilizing that thickness in scaling, you're able to get it in tooling, which gives you that extra layer. So this is a perfect companion knife for me. Now, I'm actually setting my custom surge back down, and I have gone back to my regular surge. So the standard surge has both your blades, your standard blade and your serrated blade. This one also has scissors on the outside, but I haven't gotten that far yet, and at some point I'm going to have to find the time to do it, but I'm thinking about trying to, and there's a few people that have done it successfully, is take the center drive, the Gerber center drive outer screwdriver, and be able to place it into a Leatherman surge. And because the fact that I now have an auxiliary set or separate set of scissors in the companion knife, it may be ideal to take this one out and put the outer driver from a Gerber center drive onto the Leatherman surge, and that's something I might look at here in the future. And then on the other side, I keep the file in place on the T-shank holder because I use it more than I do the saw blade, but I also carry a couple of auxiliary blades to go along with it. Now on the interior, it's going to have your can opener, your bit exchanger, and on the other side you do have an awl, and then you have a couple of flat drivers. So this tool set within this companion knife really works well with this. The only thing that's really redundant is going to be the scissors. And while the awl would be considered redundant for a lot of people, this awl, when we've done another video on this, the awl that comes on these Alox Victorinoxes works so well as a package opener, where the point is very sharp, so it pierces, and then you're able to draw cut along the edge of plastic containers, and it just does, or plastic packaging. It does a fantastic job in that role. And so you've heard me say that package opener is something that I'd like to see on a lot of knives. This actually fits the bill really well, and it's a dual function. It's actually a reamer awl, but it really works well as a package opener as well. So there's really no reason to have an independent package opener. So this is one thing. This is another thing that I added on my custom Surge. I don't have the sleeve right now, but I actually, in the T-shank adapter, I stole a one off of a Leatherman Rev, where I integrated it so it could fit in the T-shank adapter, and then used it, which is actually the best package opener I've ever used, but nonetheless. So this, again, is dual function. That's really why I wanted that on there. So give me a second here. We're going to grab the Cadet. The Cadet, in place of the awl, the Cadet houses the fingernail file and fingernail cleaner, which is actually a really good tool on here. So this is just an outstanding. I cannot tell you how excited I am to have this. In fact, because of the Leatherman Surge having the scissors, this probably works a little bit better for the Leatherman Wave or the Leatherman Rebar. Now, the Wave has scissors, but the scissors are internal, and again, you run into kind of the same problem when you're trying to access a tool that's on the inside that you use on a regular basis. It can be a little bit cumbersome to get it out. So having the scissors on the outside really works well for it. The Leatherman Rebar, while it has an awl, this kind of, again, doubles as a package opener. And so while it's a redundant tool, but it has a little different functionality. So I don't really consider that redundant. So the only one apart from that was going to be the secondary blade, which it's always good to have a little backup blade. This is a fantastically put together knife. I'm really impressed with how snappy it is, how tight. It feels like it came out of the factory this way. Now, I will notice one thing is, in order to achieve and be able to put all these tools in here, Cody had to add in some small spacers, which opens it up just a little bit to fit these larger tools in here. And he just did an absolutely gorgeous job. I guess you can consider the keyring holder an additional tool. I don't really consider that a tool, but this is just a beautiful knife. It's lightweight. I'll tell you what, let me pause here. I'm going to get the scale, and we're going to get the measurements on here, see how much this custom knife weighs also. Okay, so I'm going to do this in ounces first, and I want to do a couple control weighs. So this one is the Cadet. The Cadet weighs in at 1.62 ounces. And another very popular knife, a great knife actually, is the Victorinox Pioneer X. This is a 91 millimeter. It comes in at 3.28 ounces. Now let's see what the companion comes in at. And we are almost right in between, 2.39 ounces. And then if we switch this over to grams, we'll just do them in reverse. So we got 45 grams for this one, a 92 grams for this one, and the companion is going to come in at 67 grams. So it is an incredibly nice, pocketable size. It's lightweight, 3-layer knife that has absolutely everything that I could ask for in a companion knife to go along with my Leatherman Surge. Go check out Cody's video. In fact, Cody has so much great content. You could spend hours and days on his platform just looking at all his stuff. And if you're interested in a custom knife, you can get a hold of Cody through his channel, or you can also do it on his website, which this is just another thing. I want to show you this. So he sent this in a laser cut custom box. It is so well done. He also sent along a couple extra goodies, like a patch to go along with this knife. It's just really fantastic. F2S Customs, you can see him on his website at f2customs.com, on Instagram at fit2survive_, and here on YouTube as well. I encourage you to go check him out. Really great content, really fantastic custom knives. And if you're looking for a custom knife, I highly encourage you to check out Cody. He does a really, really great job. My name is Ben. You've been watching the Texas Tool Crib. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.